said Kaylee's nose was broken. Kaylee looked as though she'd been gagged because she had injuries on either side of her mouth, whether it was a hand or whether it was something else. And Steve and the police seemed to think that there was some other object, some other weapon that was used on Kaylee that they cannot figure out. They cannot determine what it was. Like, what did he have with him that he used, on Kaylee? Yes, she'd been stabbed over 30 times, but there was some other blunt impact that she suffered. And they were interesting the way they said it in the press conference. They said they are only looking for a K-bar knife as the murder weapon, but ask the families. And then when we talked to Shannon Gray, who is the attorney for the Gonzalez family, he said, I'm going to leave that for Steve to get more detailed about. But yes, there is another weapon, and they're confounded by it. I'm not sure why they wouldn't talk about it in the press conference, the police and the investigators, but they didn't. All right, let me tell you about what was found outside the home by the investigators. They said that they tracked footprints. Now, I don't know what they tracked the footprints in. Were these footprints in blood? Were these just footprints? I can't imagine how you would determine footprints in a heavily trafficked doorway, but maybe it was in blood and they just didn't say so. But the footprints were leading away from the rear slider door out of the kitchen and circling a tree stump in the backyard and heading back towards the front of the house. I don't think those are of evidentiary value to this killing. Again, my theory only, but I think Brian Koberger got the hell out of there and got to his car and got out because the timeline is very tight. He's out of that house at 4:20 and he's seen, already heading back into Pullman, Washington, taking that circuitous loop, right? And I don't think he spent a lot of time messing around outside the house. I think he had just killed 4 people and got the hell out of there. And remember, he drove like a bat out of hell. That white Elantra was seen screaming out of there at 4:20 and was almost, like he said, almost lost control of the car as he was pulling out of King and Queen Road. So my personal feeling is I don't think he was lurking around the house after these murders much. I think he realized what he'd done and needed to get out. Then they said they saw small handprints observed on a nearby window with a damaged screen on the ground. If you're looking at the back of the house, you can see the slider is on the left, and there were some windows on the right, and you could see investigators dusting for prints during the investigation 2.5 years ago. And you could see, I think one of the screens was down on the ground back then. That might be what they're referring to. It may have nothing to do with this. Small handprints may have been from previous tenants or kids visiting or just kids or whatever. But that's what they put in their investigative documents. They said that they saw smudged fingerprints on the slider glass door. Don't know if they're Koberger's, but they didn't see